This guy definitely deserved his death the most in Squid Game Season 3. He annoyed me so much. I'm so glad he's gone now. We saw a lot of deaths in the new Squid Game Season 3. Some extremely sad ones, and they were not deserved. But then we saw some deaths, and they couldn't have been more than deserved. In today's video, I'm gonna be going over 9 people in Season 3 who I believed deserved death because of what they did. Like and subscribe right now if you're sad Season 3 is the final season. Anyways, let's jump into this interesting video now. Alright, so I'll be starting off with the players who deserve death, but they didn't do too much bad. As I go down on this list, each player deserves it more and more. I know I might get some hate for this list, but I tried conducting it with all the research I got, so let's start. Alright, so coming in 9th place, we have the witch shaman, aka Siono. So why did she deserve death? Siono was a nuisance in my opinion, and she got people killed because of her fake conspiracy theories act, Queen of the Sea or whatever. She didn't directly kill anyone, but her act did. In episode 2, Starry Night, she decided to lead a group of 4 players that were completely innocent and did whatever she did. In this scene, she ends up opening a door and walking through it, only to leave the door and shut it back as fast as possible. Because then we can see Limyongi and namygu, 2 red players, come out and stab 2 of the blue players. Siono didn't even alert her team members. She just didn't care, and they trusted her. What a backstabber, honestly. She's so cruel. Imagine guys, if she's at this rank, then the other people just get way worse as I go down on this list. Another scene that really annoyed me about her is when she went up to Jihoon and started laughing in his face when he was clearly depressed since he just lost his best friend, Jung-bae. At least he ended up choking her. She ended up dying when she came into the room with Minsu, the junkie boy. Minsu ends up stabbing her when he thinks she's namygu, but she deserves it. She's been cruel from season 2 all the way to season 3, and she just doesn't learn her lesson ever. Even Haiwon-ju slapping her didn't really wake her up. She just continued to be the way she was. Alright, so the next player on this list that deserved death is Kang Deho. A lot of you think that his death is sad, and it is a little bit, but I actually believe he deserved death, and I will explain why. It all started when Jihoon overheard Park Young-sik talking about Kang Deho, saying that all the players died in Jihoon's rebellion because of him, since Kang Deho didn't bring the magazines for the guns on time. This is when Jihoon had an eye for Kang Deho and started death staring him completely. Even at the start, when the players were arranged colored teams for them, Jihoon was still death staring Deho. This is when Deho decided to approach Jihoon and ask him, "What's wrong? What did I do?" when he knows exactly what he did wrong. It's clear Deho is guilty, and that's why he's acting emotionally unstable now. He knows Jihoon is after him, but what we find out about Deho next is absolutely shocking. We then go on to a scene where we can see Jihoon finally having his moment alone with Deho, something he's been waiting for so long. Deho tells Jihoon that he lied about being in the Marines so he could join the group with him and Jung-bae. He said he thought a pathetic loser like him could do anything if he joined them. This is the reason Deho freaked out during Jihoon's rebellion. Not because of his PTSD, but because he's never had any combat experience. And what's crazier guys is I already speculated this in the past. I said in my previous videos that Deho could be lying about being in the Marines. I can't believe how accurate I am with my theories. I'm very proud of myself. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that one. Anyways, Jihoon ends up choking him to death at the end since Deho fought back. I feel like if Deho didn't attack him, Jihoon would have let him go because he's a great guy. But Deho decided to fight him. I put Deho at this rank because he's not a bad guy, but he also caused the death of many players, so he does need to take accountability for his actions for lying. Alright, so the next person we are going on to in 7th place is a player that had a huge character development. Limyongi, also known as MG Coin. So why did Limyongi deserve death? He seemed like a good guy in Season 2. Well, that changes in Season 3. He becomes a brutal killer. We can see his first massive change in the maze tag game, when he decides to team up with Namygu. The thing is, Limyongi only killed these players because he had to advance to the next game, so this can be somewhat valid, but the reason he deserves death in the end is because of how foolish he actually becomes. Throughout the season, we can see his little care for his baby and Kim Jun-hee. First of all, he leaves Kim in the rope bridge game as the father of the baby and the mother there. He should have at least tried to carry her, but he didn't do anything. He just only shouted at her. Limyongi at the end of the season during the final game used the baby as bait so he could make Jihyun let him live. What a coward move, using your own baby to try get yourself out of a situation. I really thought he was going to drop that baby at that very moment. I got so worried. So yes, Limyongi did deserve death in the end. He only cared about the money and he did not protect his family. He wasn't a completely terrible human, but he definitely did not deserve to win in the end, hands down. Coming in 6th place, we have the junkie himself, Namygu. So why is Namgyo's death deserved? There's many reasons I can talk about. Namygu was absolutely psychotic, even more than Thanos himself, in my opinion. In Season 2, he decided to kill one of the beloved players, Simi, and it wasn't part of the games. He just did it so the number of players could reduce for the cash prize to increase. He was very greedy. To be honest though, I do like Namgyo's character though, just because of how psycho he is. I know I might get some backlash for that comment, but I also like a bit of an unpopular opinion. But this doesn't mean he didn't deserve to die. In Season 3 is proven to be even more psychotic, still taking no accountability for his actions, bullying Minsu, but oh boy, karma hit him like crazy, especially by Minsu. Even in the maze tag game, he's killing players like it's actually fun, making fun of the dead bodies, saying they look like dolls after they die because of their eyes. It's honestly very disturbing. In the rope bridge game, fate caught up to him. Minsu started to tease Namygu, saying, "Are you looking for this?" This was the cross Namygu stole from Thanos and was absolutely desperate to get his hands back on it because he really needed the pills. He couldn't function without them. Minsu decides to throw the cross in the middle of the bridge. Good boy, Minsu. Namygu chases them later on to discover there's no pills in it, then gets distracted by the disappointment and falls to his death. Guys, I'm curious to hear, did you get upset by his death or do you think it was very deserved? Namygu was a maniac and needed to get out of the games before the final one. So the next player on this list, coming in 5th place, is actually a very interesting one because this player is not one of the main characters. We really only get to see his face for the first time properly in Season 3. And what's very interesting about this player is he's the guy in the official trailer of Season 3 to say, "What do you think I'm doing? I'm playing the games." This line hit hard. We all thought it was player 202 in the trailer because it showed his face when this line occurred, but it was actually player 196. But why did he deserve death? This guy was extremely greedy. As all the players were trying to reach to the other side of the rope bridge game, he encouraged them, pretending to help them. But as soon as player 312 got to the other side with a smile on his face, player 096 decided to push him off. His goal was to do that to everyone so the player numbers could go down. He was really there to play the games, but in a very cruel way. But Jihyun did not allow this, so he told him, "I can push you off if you don't stop." And he did listen, but then later on, he attacked Jihyun from behind. But Jihyun thankfully ended up pushing him off with his legs. This guy really deserved death. If it wasn't for Jihyun, who knows if any more of the players would have made it through. What a crazy scene. Okay, so coming in 4th place is a very interesting player because It's not a main player, and it's also a player I just spoke about. Player 202. This is the guy we saw in the trailer, and oh boy, I thought he looked very intimidating the first time I saw him in the trailer. And oh, I was right. In episode 2 in season 3, there's a scene where it's Haewon-ju, Geum-ja, and Kim Jun-hee, and they're all resting in a room because Kim just gave birth. Can I just point out that Kim put so many people in jeopardy? She got our beloved Haewon-ju killed, and I can't forgive her for that. Anyways, as they're all resting, a red player enters the room, and that red player is player 202. Player 202 still decides to try attack them even when he sees a baby. Like, I can't understand how someone could do this. I know everyone is trying to fight to the death, but come on, it's a mother and her baby. You can let them pass. So yes, player 202 did deserve death because he thought attacking a mother and her baby was smart. I'm glad Haewon-ju was there to protect them, but she still paid the price for it. Unbelievable. So the next player coming in third place is actually the player in the thumbnail of this video, player 100, aka Gramps. So why did Gramps deserve to die? I will say a very unpopular, controversial statement about him, and that's I believe he acted like most humans would if they were in the games, with the way he spoke and his manipulation. But man, the guy was so greedy. From season 2, he was always saying, one more game, one more game. Who knows that if he wasn't there, if the games would have still continued. He encouraged so many players to play, and that was just wrong. Just because he was in the most depth out of everyone there. I'll definitely rank him as the greediest player in the entire Squid Game franchise, as crazy as that is to say. In the final game, there was 9 finalists, and he decided to go for the baby and Jihoon. This was very wrong of him. He didn't care about the baby one bit, and wanted to go for an easy target. At this point, it was time to say bye to him, and he's ranked third not because he wanted the baby dead, but because of how he was in the games, always being so manipulative, and didn't care one bit to see anyone die. Him saying one more game really, in my opinion, made everyone continue with the games, since a lot of the players were just too blind to see how dangerous the games really were. Alright, so coming in second place is actually very interesting because it's actually not a player, it's someone that works in the Squid Game organization. The officer. The officer was a guard that was not just representing all the pink guards in the usual game operation, but he was also in charge of the undergoing organ harvesting operation, which was even worse. He was in charge of the guards selling their organs on the black market. I'm glad Kang Noel was there to beat him to it. The officer always peer pressured Noel to take part in the undergoing organization, but Noel wanted no part in that dirty organization, so she ends up fighting him. And she does pretty well, but the officer ends up winning the battle. But Noel plays it smart, even though she's stabbed, and crawls to the elevator to then get a gun that he completely forgot about. This scene was so interesting because even I forgot about the gun, so it was a very big surprise moment for the whole audience. His death couldn't have been more than deserved, and I'm glad he's gone. He had no remorse for anything. Alright, so the final person that comes on this list is also not actually a player, and this is completely my opinion, my feelings, because I really didn't like this guy. At least I'm being honest, guys, I just didn't like him. And we got to find out that he was working for the frontman. As soon as I knew that, I just wanted to see him put down. Captain Park. So why does Captain Park come first on this list? We first discovered that this man was working for the frontman when he was trying to break the drone in the boat in season 2, and then he stabbed the fisherman on the boat to hide his tracks. Ever since then, we knew who he really was, and he kept fooling everyone on the boat, the only people that had a chance of taking down the games. Junho was also on that boat too, But in season 3, we can see him killing everyone when he finds out that they are close to reaching the island. This scene really annoyed me to the bone. These men are risking their life out there to take down an illegal operation, and Captain Park was evil, more evil than most people, I believe. And that's why I put him at first in this rank. I was so relieved the moment I saw Jun-ho shoot him with a spear into him. I was so happy. It's fine though. Jun-ho ends up finding the island, so it's all good. This is probably one of the most controversial videos I've ever made on the channel, and I know a lot of you guys may agree or disagree with my list, and that's completely up to you guys. Trust me, whatever you guys say, I will hear out. But I'm very curious to hear from your side what you guys truly think about my list, so definitely give me in-depth answers and conclusions, please. Anyways guys, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys have any future video ideas for season 3, definitely let me know. I'm listening to all of them, and I'll be giving a person a shout out if I use your idea in my next video. I will definitely take your guys' ideas into account. And if you guys want to check my recent video, I will put it in the middle of the screen right now. It might be better than this one, you never know. But that's about it for the 4th video of season 3. I will definitely see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care everyone and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.